Hi guys, welcome back for another set of roster reviews this week. Once again, I have Maverick Ag 06 with me. Maverick, our popularity is growing in these roster reviews as we're getting more and more submissions every single week. Our Discord is growing. What are your thoughts on all that, man, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It just means we have to talk faster and to get through all of these roster reviews.
Uh,
So no time to waste. Let's get going.
Awesome, guys. And if you guys want to support us, do us a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe. And if you guys are ready for this video, you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and let's get into it. All right, our first roster review this week is Leo Villas. He is looking to complete DD4 for the first time, also trying to improve his characters that he can use in both in Dark Dimension and Doom 1.1. On DD4, he is on the first global node. He doesn't have all 4 level 80 G15 characters to be able to start. All right, after a rewind of trying to clarify that, it looks like he's on the first global node, but it's unable to actually start it because he doesn't have enough global characters currently. We are going to focus more on Doom in this video, but we will talk about Dark Dimension as it comes up. In the Doom reign, he currently runs Tech, Mystic, Mutant, Bio skills. That means the middle lanes, and he currently can't defeat the Bio node, so I guess we're going to take a look and see what that looks like. Without further ado, let's jump into his MSF.gg. All right, since he runs the center lane, we're going to start here with some Tech. He has quite a few characters already in orange tier for someone who's not through DD4 yet. Kind of a little surprising. He does have quite a few important characters. The top 6 or pretty much the top 5 characters that I currently would suggest. What else do you see in there?
Yeah, you've got Ultron, which since you don't have Doom, Ultron's kind of the character that you need to get you some bots out there and take some extra hits. I do like to see Misty Knight as an option as well. When you're looking at an ability block and stun, it's not as important in his lane because you don't have to face Doom with Tech. But it's really just more about surviving to get Kestrel the pings that she needs. And so, I mean, if he can make through the one node, or maybe has somebody else that takes care of the boss in 1.1, or is sliding through, I wouldn't put too much more into Tech. He's got Ghost here and possibly Shuri that he could run in global for Dark Dimension 4. Ultron is an option for Dark Dimension 4. Not particularly something I would recommend, but yeah, I would say, maybe Misty Knight, but realistically speaking, if he can get through this section of the Doom raid at 1.1 with what he's got right now, I wouldn't mess with anything, and I would just focus on another section.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's go to the next one, and that section is Mystic. Mystic looks like he's currently working on some cloak there. Nice red star pulls, by the way. Thanos, Ebony Maw, Surfer, Hela, Moon Knight, Deathpool, White Tiger. I'm going to have a suggestion here real quick, and this has nothing to do with Doom Raids, but if you're hurting for gear, be very careful of what you do with the orange gear tier and put orange gear into characters. Until we see what the alleviation, like what they're going to alleviate gold or orange gear wise with the next update with teal gear, I'd be very, very careful because you tend to run short on characters that may be more important, especially some newer ones. But Maverick, what are you seeing here?
I mean, realistically speaking, you're playing a waiting game until you can get your new warriors up and running.
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder as a free to play or a super light spender to get both Cloak and Dagger finished before the end of the next strike pass. So you're talking about at least another 6 weeks, and that's if you plan it all out properly.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to play a little game of how do I get through in the meantime, and without Warlock and without Doom, it's a little bit trickier. So Silver Surfer for sure. I would completely stop investing in Hela because miasmas need to go to Deathpool and Cloak before anything else. So I mean, I would run Thanos, Maw, Surfer, Hela, and Deathpool right now. For no other reason, Deathpool is going to get you so much energy ability as you get kills that she's going to keep feeding, hopefully Maw some sustainability that'll help get you through in 1.1. But you want to work towards new warriors. I have full new warriors now, and I can one shot every node in this lane at 1.1, and my new warriors are all four, three red,
Yeah.
three yellow, or four red, four yellow. And so like they do really, really well. So that's what you're headed towards.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish we would have got to him a week earlier because I probably would have preferred he put his Luminous credits into Dagger instead of Cloak first, just because of the unique situation between Deathpool and Cloak. As where if he would have got Dagger first, he could have fully went hard on Dagger and at least have two of the combo. And then do
Hmm.
Cloak later, as hopefully he could regain some miasmas back. But damage is done now. It is what it is. But definitely stop on Hela. And other than that, you apparently don't have any current problems with Mystic in the current Doom. So, but yeah, definitely could make this more efficient. So let's go. Next up is Mutant. Mutant, we have a couple different ones here. We do have looks of Astonishing X-Men. Yes, we do have Astonishing X-Men up and running. I think at that level, I think they can handle base difficulty of Doom. Maybe a double tap still on the boss node, but I don't think it's enough to beat 1.1. What are your thoughts here?
No, it's not going to beat 1.1. That's really going to have to be maxed out Astonishing X-Men to beat 1.1, and that's where he's building towards, but not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I would definitely focus on the key trio of Jubilee, Beast, and Bishop first. And if you have the ability to promote Bishop to 5 red stars to give him a little bit more health and damage, I would definitely recommend doing that. That would be that, and that would be kind of some good options. You're definitely going to want to get Jubilee up for the legendary section of Dark Dimension 4. Don't worry about taking any other Astonishing X-Men to DD4, quite honestly. Um,
Yeah.
there's other good options. Stop on Kitty Pride because of miasmas. Don't put any more orange gear into Kitty Pride
Yeah.
until you get new warriors up.
I mean, I can tell you guys personal experience. Astonishing X-Men. I still take Jubilee to gear tier 15, but the rest of them, level 80, gear tier 14, will get the job done at 1.1. And as you're able to put past level 80 into them in the future, their only stats are going to keep going up. So that G15 currently is not necessary to beat Doom 1.1. It may be necessary for Doom 2, but as of right now, if you're just looking to get to Doom 1.1 and be able to handle the mutant boss nodes, level 80, G14 will get the job done. So next up is Bio. This is where he's struggling with the boss node, but honestly, well, if he should have the tools to complete the base difficulty here.
Right.
So I'm some. I don't know if it's an order of like not knowing how to handle that because that boss node is so specific, right? Like you have like very little margin of error for that node.
Well, I think he's really looking more for 1.1. My guess is that he's in an alliance where he's running 1.1 already.
Okay.
And especially because Doom 2 is coming this week. It's looking like that people are going to be wanting to push up and up and up in Doom raids as quickly as possible. And everybody is having the exact same struggles that he is. Yes, it would be great if you could get more alien spores and get characters up a little bit faster. It looks like you're done with Symbiote Spider-Man and Anti-Venom, and we should be working on Scream next. I would definitely love to see a lot more love put into that Phyla-Vell. I know she's only 4/4, but that's going to help you in Arena. And, quite honestly, Phyla-Vell is going to be the best damage dealer out of any bio character right now when you get her up to full max level. And so you could slot her in eventually if you have her built up properly, or if you got better red stars on that yo-yo, that might work. But realistically speaking, in terms of bio, I mean, until we get a bio raid team in November is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
It's everybody's having this exact same struggle. So you're not out of the realm of being hit by the same stuff that people in the top 20 alliances in the game aren't dealing with the same issues right now.
Yeah, I can tell you personal experience. I ran 1.1 bio boss earlier today. My symbiotes are around the same level. They might be a little bit lower because my carnage is only 4 red. And I was doing great, and then the wave of Graviton and what's his face? I want to say
Mordo.
Strange. Yeah, it's Mordo. I did fine. They dropped. I was handling it for a little bit well, and then things just went south once the damage dealers got a hold of my anti-venom. So it is a struggle out there for everyone. You're not alone if you're facing this. There's only so much more you can do with your symbiotes. Putting blue ISO into them, getting past level 80. You have to decide where you are with you and your alliance, what your alliance is going to do, if you want to keep investing in these characters, or do you want to see if the rumors are true. A new bio raid team is coming. Unfortunately, it's still just a rumor at this point. Very strong rumor, but just a rumor. But with that said, let's go into skill. We have Maria Hill, Sharon Carter, Captain Sam. Great job there. Kestrel, Moondragon. I think Moondragon's just there because she's favorited. And then a couple of G13s, but he definitely went hard after the Heroes for Hire, but no reds on Shang-Chi. Oof. So what are you seeing here?
So, I mean, if he's struggling to get into Dark Dimension 4 Global and is missing a character, I would go ahead and finish off the Baron Zemo.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a fantastic option, as everyone can kind of attest, but he's got a 6 red Baron Zemo, and, it's basically done. It is a character that's relatively cheap to bring into Global, and if he's just waiting on one more character to start, that's really good. And he can use that as the 5th with Secret Avengers and Kestrel. Secret Avengers, knock on wood, is becoming farmable over the next 6 to 8 weeks. We should be hearing something this weekend about the first of those becoming farmable next week.
Fingers crossed.
So it said, knock on wood. But that would be where I would go.
All right, that will do it here for the first roster review. Before we jump into the second one, if you guys are interested in how to get your own roster review, I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. Are you interested in having your roster reviewed by Maverick and I in this quick format roster review, helping you out in a game mode or two? If you are, all you need to do is join my Discord. The link to that is in the description down below. Then all you need to do is find the video section, find roster reviews, and there you'll find the latest roster review application where you can submit your request to have your roster reviewed by Maverick and I in a YouTube format. So if you need help clearing any content in the game, don't hesitate, apply today. Our next roster review is Kenjuro. He is looking, he's currently trying to compete DD3. He's looking to start DD4. He just wants some advice on who you should bring for DD4. He wants also some advice on some Doom Raid teams. So if we can provide good advice for some Doom Raid teams as we're going through DD4, we will do that. But without further ado, let's jump into his MSF.gg. All right, we're in here in his roster, and we're going to start with Global as characters that are good recommendations. He's already got a good head start on Sinister. He's got a Ghost. He's got 2 of the Secret Avengers sitting right there. Let's see. He's 390 days in the game. He's a light spender, so he's kind of a little ahead of his time, a little bit. Let me try to see what else he has down here. Maybe not unlocked, no Doom. He did not get Maria Hill. So yeah, Sinister. We're not going to talk about legendaries. We're trying to skip those characters. We got Ghost, Emma, Cap, Sharon. I feel like someone's missing this picture, but I can't figure out who. What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, the easiest one, just in terms of for newer or free-to-play players, is Baron Zemo because of his raid store viability and how cheap he is. But if you're having Secret Avengers up already, I wouldn't waste the skill gear. I would just go ahead and keep working on Secret Avengers as they become farmable, and work on all of them, starting with Sam, then Sharon, then Maria if you get her unlocked, because Sam's going to be your protector. Even at that low star level, I mean, you've already got the orange gear built into them, and it's going to be a grind, but Secret Avengers is going to also help you the most long-term in Doom raids, so that there's enough positive benefit to bringing those characters.
Yeah, definitely. You're just trying to be efficient with your resources. So yeah, like we said in our previous roster review, the Secret Avengers, most likely, if they keep up with their trend they've always had in this game of making characters farmable for the legendary right before the legendary comes out, anywhere between this upcoming Wednesday until 6 weeks or so. Secret Avengers are most likely going to come farmable one way or another in this game. So if you're free to play, which he's not, but if you're even a free to play player, it's in a good position to just go ahead knowing that these characters are going to become farmable to you very soon. Next up is Cosmic. A couple pieces here. He's already gone pretty hard at Deathpool. Great job. Ebony Maw. Actually, never mind. These are two legendaries. Hela. He must have already had Hela invested into before Deathpool. Got the Kestrel. Really low star level in Kestrel. Really dependent on those premium orbs. That's got to hurt a little bit. Hopefully, you get some luck in some other orbs like Ultimus and Mega and some premium, obviously. So basic orbs will still take a long time. But what are you seeing here? I'm still thinking 2-star Kestrel is viable. What are you thinking?
I mean, a 2-star Kestrel and a 2-star Silver Surfer are gonna. I mean, like those are gonna be grind characters, but they're also super forward-thinking in the meta. Deathpool, love to see it. Definitely, that's a character that you could bring in very easily. That's going to feed out some ability energy to Silver Surfer. I wouldn't necessarily recommend Thanos at this point. He's just mostly there to take hits and die. So I would do Deathpool, Minerva, Kestrel, and Silver Surfer.
Okay.
The problem here is that if you'll scroll down to the bottom for me.
Okay, sure.
There's no Phyla-Vell, there's no Moondragon.
Ooh, this has to be a returning player.
Those are the characters that the cosmic characters that I would recommend, but that he doesn't have unlocked.
Yeah, he must definitely be a returning player. Here's a question, and I actually had someone in my Discord ask me this earlier, and I'm going to ask you your opinion on this. Given the characters that are in the arena orb, for a newer player, would you still suggest that they buy characters outright with the arena credits, even though most of them are way past the meta? Or just take your chances with the arena orb, get a few extra resources, and take your odds that you'll drop Phyla-Vell and get her unlocked? What are your thoughts there?
I mean, I had saved up almost 200,000 arena orb credits and spent about half of those to get the 100 shards that I needed to get Phyla-Vell unlocked. So if they're starting from 0 shards and needing 100 shards to get Phyla-Vell unlocked, you're looking at 100,000 arena orb credits.
Yeah, well, she's only 45.
Is she at 45?
Yeah.
So you're looking maybe at like 50K arena orbs or arena credits to get her unlocked, and then maybe you might get lucky on some other stuff. As a super early game player, I don't know that would be necessarily the best option until you get like some of the really key characters out of the early arena orb or the arena store that you have at least unlocked. But I would say mid-game players that are just kind of like, I'm going to farm Shatterstar at 975 shards. Maybe that's not necessarily the best option for them, but maybe the arena orb would be better.
Okay.
But I don't like the arena orb, and I only open it if I absolutely have to.
All right, fair enough.
I don't feel like the benefits are there. I mean, they reworked the old Kingpin orb was better, except for the fact that you got Kingpin shards.
Yeah. All right. I just thought I'd get your thoughts on that, as I was starting to, after looking at the characters in the arena store, I was starting to lean towards, it might be better off just popping that orb open. But anyways, let's move on to City. Let's see. So we have, obviously, symbiotes are still kindish the leading characters because they're still needed for bio at this current moment. Let me see. And everything else he must be really behind on. Cloak is unlocked. Dagger is not. Once again, you're fighting for miasmas. I highly recommend, guys, anybody watching, go after Dagger first, not Cloak first, just because of the unique situation. He does have Shang-Chi unlocked, and we do know this character is really, really good. And then the rest of the heroes for hire are way down there. So stay the course with symbiotes. What do you recommend here?
Stay the course with the trio symbiotes. I wouldn't necessarily do Carnage and Venom.
Okay.
at this point. But Symbiote, Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, Scream, and then Cloak and Dagger and Shang-Chi. I mean, those are all great characters. I'm leveling up Shang-Chi right now independently of Heroes for Hire just as a character that feels incredibly safe in terms of his stats
Yeah.
and his viability down the road. He's easily, plug in with Secret Avengers in a skill team in the Doom raids.
Yeah.
Like City is a great option. He's the key member of a war defense team that even if you have at low levels, Shang-Chi is still really hard to beat, and makes that team go. So that's the direction that I would go.
Okay.
And again, that's something I said last week. Realistically, you have to look at every character and say, did this character come out before Silver Surfer or did it come out after Silver Surfer? If it came out after Silver Surfer, odds are it's a pretty safe investment, relatively speaking. And then if it didn't, you really have to take a look at them.
Alrighty, sounds good. Let's go check out his legendary. Alright, so looking at his legendary, we have Ebony Maw, Black Bolt, Phoenix, Doc Ock, Invisible Woman, top 5. The only one I think they might be leaving out in the cold here is Jubilee. But overall, I mean, not a bad 5 to go with. Like I said, Black Bolt's still iffy for me if you want to rank him up or not. Jubilee I pretty much prefer just because the tie-in with Doom Raids. But what are your thoughts here before we end his roster review?
Yeah, I mean, especially if he's looking for characters for Doom Raids, I would definitely do Jubilee first.
Yeah.
Even over Phoenix at this point. I mean, even though I know his Phoenix is built up a little bit more, and he's got better stars on Phoenix, but Jubilee's better for the long term in the Doom Raids. I don't even use Phoenix in Doom Raids, so that's what I would do. Doc Ock for sure, Ebony Maw for sure. Phoenix and Jubilee is technically what we normally recommend.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Sounds good. And whoever you want your 5th to be, other than Star-Lord and Iron Man, Nick Fury, and Magneto, you're good to go. Anyways, that will end this roster review. Let's get on to the next one. Our next roster review is Ninja Mick. He has finished his second DD3, second run of DD3. He's on his first run of DD4. He's prepping for DD5. Be careful with that prepping of DD5. We are not, at this point, 100% certain it will be global cosmic city type run again. They could change it up, so be very careful on what you're investing in for DD5. I would say at this point, stay safe, invest around Doom Raids first, and then widen the roster for Doom Raid. So I believe I have him separate everything off into Doom Raid so we can give an advice that way, as I think that's more important than planning for a dark dimension that may not work out the way you think it's going to work out. All right, so we don't have an MSF.gg for Ninja Mick, so we're going to go off of, the screenshots he sent me. So the first screenshot is of his skill characters. We are pretty much, actually, this is kind of, he's got some favorites. I was like, this is kind of a little weird. So he is under 400 days, under 1 year playing the game. Obviously, there's a ton of rank up problems because gold is a real problem. He's a light spender, not sure what that includes spending-wise, maybe battle pass, strike passes. But skill-wise, he's off to a great start. If I had to guess, he may already be doing, based on this, he might already be doing 1.1 or 1.0 Doom Raids. We'll see when we go more, but it looks like the top 5 is what he's currently running. Once again, without knowing the actual requirements of DD5, it's hard to recommend characters for future Dark Dimension. Any thoughts here before we move on to the next slide?
Secret Avengers, Kestrel, Gamora. That's all there is to it.
Oh, that's true. Kestrel. She's down there. The favorite thing threw me off. All right. The next set. We have, it looks like this is his Mystic set. Okay, I got to get through the favorites here. He's got an Adam Warlock built up, a Deathpool built up, a Surfer built up. Ooh. Not Doom. He's currently going through first run of Doom. No Ebony Maw currently. So I think give him some nice Mystic recommendations here. He's got Dagger unlocked. And he's, imagine Mace's Bear wear, nope, no Cloak, but at least he did it in the order that I'd recommend currently. Dagger before Cloak, just because of the unique situation. It's easier to max her out quickly. Even though it looks like he's got a G15 Deathpool sitting there. What are you seeing?
I mean, he's about to unlock Cloak. My guess is that, this is what I would do right now. The next time you get Luminous Orbs, spend them to unlock Cloak.
Okay.
And then unlock Cloaks, because you want to have both of them together. So, like, my recommendation with Cloak and Dagger is do whatever you can, spend in whatever order to get them both unlocked.
Okay.
Then once you have them both unlocked, take whichever character you have better red stars and invest everything else into so that you can get the benefit of the red stars. I personally prefer Dagger if it's a coin flip, but either character is great. You want to end up having both characters on the team because they do incredible. So as soon as he unlocks Cloak, I would go all out on Cloak and Dagger, Deathpool, Warlock, and Silver Surfer. In the meantime, you could slot in Hela just for Greg purposes.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what she's there for, is for Greg purposes. I would not invest any more in there because of the miasma problem. And yeah, pretty much that. I mean, Deathpool he's already done with. So Cloak, Dagger, Warlock he's good on. Surfer he's done with. Until he gets Doom, like there's nothing really else that I would recommend. I would just spend those Luminous credits on Cloak, build them as high as you possibly can. I feel that Secret Avengers and New Warriors are probably some of the safest characters that you can build in the entire game right now.
Yeah.
More so than Weapon X or Heroes for Hire. So definitely go that way.
All right. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next one. We have up next is Mutant. Let's see. There's two of the Astonishing X-Men. We got some investment there. Looks like, did he have Adam Warlock unlocked?
Yes.
Okay. So he, what level 6? So it
looks
like,
got it.
Okay. So it looks like he just recently may got that. I saw his X Factor and I was curious. Let's see. We have, where's the rest of them? They're not 70 there, 70. Okay. So he's definitely got Astonishing X-Men. He's got some of the other parts to actually plug and play some other things. Sinister's not built up, so I'm actually curious of who he's running in Global GD4. And that's not what we're really here for today, but just curious since Sinister's so low. But what are your thoughts here?
I mean, to be more efficient right now in base difficulty, I would just focus on the key 3 of Astonishing X-Men and Jubilee, Beast, and Bishop.
Yeah.
And then, he's been working on X Factor for Adam Warlock. I feel like if you invest a little bit extra in the Dad Bros, they can be better 4th and 5th than putting more into Iceman and Kitty Pryde right now in terms of like giving you a lot more versatility. And I would not put any more orange gear into Kitty Pryde until you're completely done with New Warriors.
All right, sounds good. Let's go to the next set, and that is Tech. Tech looks like he's got a knock, he's got a ghost. Nebula's there for Infinity Watch. No gear into Misty Knight. That's different. Kestrel, Minerva. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he's got at least a base 5. Doesn't have Doom unlocked yet. We pretty much established that. And no Star-Lord yet. Another person. I'm gonna give a clap just for the restraint and not getting Star-Lord first that so many people go and do. Anyways, Ultron's there. Okay, so what are you seeing? I mean, I'm seeing enough to get him started here.
Yeah, I mean, Ultron is a great option when you don't have Doom, and then when you have Doom, you drop Ultron.
Yeah.
I like Misty Knight. I would like her better at 4/4, and especially if you're not running the center lane where Tech is first in Doom raids.
Yeah.
You definitely want to consider Misty Knight for her stun and ability block. Ability block is really key on Doom, but in the middle lanes of Doom Raid, or at least Doom Raid 1, you don't have to face a Doom, so Misty Knight's not as important.
No.
But realistically speaking, it's keep everybody alive so that Kestrel can do her thing. So Minerva, Ghost, Doc Ock, Shuri if you need to for a legendary. It kind of all just kind of depends.
Yeah.
There's a lot more flexibility in the Tech nodes right now until we get a new 3-piece eventually.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to this last screenshot, I just want to let you know, Ninja Mick, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but that's what I'm going with. I just want to give you a shout out. I mean, I've seen so many of these characters that need ranked up, and this shows you so much restraint in spending. So you're definitely focusing on what do I need to do to get to the end game content. You're not really getting yourself sidetracked by things like how do I, max out war, how do I get better, and like you're definitely really focusing on content to get more stuff, and that really helps, especially anyone who's willing to spend this game. Definitely cuts down on things that you actually have to spend for to keep up. So good job. And last but not least, let's go with bio. this is interesting. Philovel's good, Anti-Venom's good, Symbiote Spider-Man's good. Carnage, he spent to get him ranked up to G14, I think that is, and level 75, but yet the 250 not in the level, which is a little strange. I'll let you. And then the rest of the symbiotes, I can see their strength there. Who are we missing? Venom. Where's Venom at? Venom's not here. All right, so this is probably the one where definitely I'm seeing the least amount of investment so far. What are your thoughts here?
Can you scroll down one real quick, just
Sure.
one more time, for me, please?
We're looking for the very bottom.
Yeah. No, I was just I sometimes I don't recommend Philovel if you get an insane yo-yo red star pull, just for the defense down, but he didn't. So I would do symbiotes, drop Venom, and add Philovel, especially when he's halfway to a 6 red Philovel.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do what you need to do to bring up Scream, even over Carnage. Scream has a lot more versatility and viability than Carnage. But that's realistically the 5 that you want to use is Philovel, Anti-Venom, Scream, Carnage, and Symbiote Spider-Man. Invisible Woman is all right to bring up as a 6th, in case you need a little bit more sustain and maybe somebody goes down. That's a good backup character, but bio sucks. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. You remember the days when they used to release non-stop bio characters? Oh boy, how we want those days back.
Yeah, so real quick on that, I have a list of 22 characters that are I consider safe to upgrade. Okay. Which is basically everything since Silver Surfer and beyond. And there's only one bio character in that list of 22 characters.
Sounds about right. All right, so guys, with that said, that will end this roster review. This one's a little bit of a longer one. I am still trying to think of ways to handle this as the popularity of this series goes and the requests keep going up of how I want to break this down to keep them a little bit more digestible and not as long as this one. By all means, you guys can share your thoughts and comments down below. I'm more than happy to read them. But with that said, guys, if you guys enjoy this roster review and want to show some support for the channel, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new and haven't done so already, hit the subscribe. And if you don't want to miss any other roster reviews we do on our channel, don't forget the notification bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.